Hi, I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to look at an interesting little film. So this is Coraline. So normally, when I film these things, I try to read and film the book first. Unfortunately, there's like 12 to maybe 14 on order at my public library for that book. So I have it on hold. I've had it on hold for months at this point, but we're still waiting. So the film came in, as you can see, this is a library copy. This came first. So I went into this completely blind. I kind of knew the story. A YouTuber, Dom Noble, did a comparison, but it's been a while since I've watched it. So I mostly went into this blind. So I have not read the book yet. By the time you guys see this, I'll have done the book, because I always know my book reviews are always on Mondays. The film reviews are on Fridays. So you will get far more of the comparison between this film and that book in the book review, which you'll hopefully have already seen. So, but at the time of this filming, I have not read the book. So let's go over this very interesting film. So this is Coraline. It's a stop motion animation film. It's based on the book, IMDb here, by Neil Gaiman. Now, Gaiman does horror. So this is horror. I continue to torture myself with this. I'm not a horror fan, so the book should be interesting. This is a very well done film. I did skip over parts of it because, again, I'm not a horror fan. I'm just not. And I have a tendency to film these things at night and watch these things at night before I go to bed. So, yeah, I'm not a horror fan. So this was very interesting. However, it's very, very well done. It's stop motion animation, so it's a lot of work to do to make a film like this, because you're literally moving tiny little puppets to make movement, like it's bits by bits. So yeah, it takes a very long time and a lot of work just to film the action and the movement. That's not counting the voice acting, which is another whole heck of a lot of work. No, from what I can tell, voice acting is actually harder than physical acting, just because you're in a booth using your voice a lot. The voice actors in this, we can go over that. Actually, you have Dakota Fanning, who is Coraline, and Terry Hatcher plays Mel Jones, which is the mother. She also plays the other mother, which we will get into when we go into this. John Hodgins is Charlie Jones, which is the father in this book. He also plays the other father in, again, we'll get there. And then you have a couple of other interesting characters. So you have Jennifer Saunders, who plays Miss April Spink. So she's in this, to give you an idea, in this film, basically what's going on is you have young Coraline. Her parents have moved her into this large house where they're basically renting the main portion of the house, the first and second story. And they moved from Michigan to work on a magazine, I believe. They wanted quiet. So they moved to the middle of nowhere. I'm guessing she's not quite in school yet. I'm guessing it's summer, even though it seems very cold. And I have no idea. It doesn't recommend exactly where it is. Or it could be winter or something. It looks very fall-like and very creepy. But again, she hasn't started school yet. So in this. So you have her parents, and then the downstairs, the basement, is another apartment where you have some very interesting ladies who seem to have been in theater. So you have Miss April Spink and Miss Miriam Forcible. And then on the upstairs, you have Mr. Sergei Alexander Babinsky, who's some sort of Russian acrobat, who, at least when I was looking in the IMDb page, may not have been part of the cleaning up of Chernobyl. Again, fictional world here. And then the other main character you have here is the neighbor boy, whose grandmother rents the house. His name is Will Wyborn, or Wybie, love it. Now, he is a film-only creation from what I can tell from looking at the IMDb page. So they put him in there to give Coraline somebody to talk to besides herself, which works okay in a book, but not so much in a film adaptation. So this is probably a decent change. And then you have a cat who talks in both in a different world. So what happens in this film, you have Coraline again, they moved. She's lonely. She apparently hears about some bizarre well, so she goes outside, wanders around, she meets Wilby and this semi-stray black cat who cannot talk. But then she's in the house and she finds, basically Wilby gives her some very strange doll with these button eyes. And then she's in the house and she finds a tiny door. And when her and her mother open it up, there's bricks. But she goes back down there after bed, and it leads into this other alternate world that's identical to the world she's living in, only the parents in that world care. Because her parents are currently kind of ignoring her. They're busy working, and it's like she's kind of in the way. So these parents are paying attention to her, they're loving on her, they're giving her attention, and so she kind of likes this. It's a different world, it's quirky, it's fun. Again, you had the same characters that are in the real world, only when the cat talks. Everybody has button eyes. So it's very interesting. She keeps kind of going back. She'll go to sleep and she'll wake up back in her dull, boring life where, again, her parents are very, very distracted and not paying attention at all. So she's very lonely. And again, in this other world, her parents are paying attention, the other parents. Unfortunately, it turns out that they want her to stay, and it's like she has to basically want to sew buttons onto her eyes. Essentially, they want to suck out her soul, I believe. So she gets stuck in this world, and the other mother, as they refer to her as, kidnaps her parents. So, and then there's also these 3 other little ghosts that have been essentially similar. They tell her, it's like, the other mother uses the doll to see what's wrong with their lives and coax them into her world because she wants something from them, their life essence or something, and they end up having their buttons sewed on their eyes and they die. So apparently that's kind of what happened to the apparently twin sister of her friend in the real world's grandmother, is she got sucked in here. So the other mother has now captured Coraline's real parents, locked her here, and basically told her you have to find where I trapped these 3 other children. They're ghosts. So she does that with the help of the cat who talks in this world, and eventually is able to find her parents and trick the other mother into opening the door back into the real world, and she's able to get back, and the other mother's hand kind of chases her because she turns into some sort of spider creature. Again, I have no idea if this is true to the book at all. She escapes. The hand gets dropped down a well with the help of the real friend in the film, the neighbor boy. And her parents kind of wake up to paying attention. They finish whatever catalog they're working on, and they're able to have a happily ever after. So this is kind of dark. Again, it's very, very creepy. Let's see, what is the rating here on this? Neil Gaiman is known for horror. So this is PG, so it is still very family friendly to speak, but again, it's on the darker side. It's a little over an hour, which according to the IMDb page, prior to another film that came after it, this was the longest stop motion animation film ever done. So kudos to that. It's a lot of work to do this kind of thing, so it's very amazing to watch when you know the amount of work that has to be put into it. It's a good kind of story where you have basically the girl she's the new kid in town, she's alone, she's living up on a hill with a bunch of quirky characters, her parents aren't paying attention, and she's offered a better life in the form of parents who are paying attention, but it's not real. And she has to realize, it's like, no, I need my real family, my real life, not basically have my life sucked out of me. So again, it has a very, very creepy vibe to it. So if your kids like scary, don't go anywhere near this. I don't think I would have liked this as a kid. I was not big on scary. I wasn't huge on this as an aesthetic just because it's not my type of film as an adult. Again, I don't like horror, despite the fact that as you guys watch this, I still have the Rangers, the Last Apprentice series, book series going on. That was not fun for me. Still good books, but not my taste. In fact, as of this shooting, I still have one more of those books to actually film because again, book is on order for the public library, so I have to wait for it to come in. So this is, if your kids like the darker side, if they enjoyed the book, they'll probably most likely enjoy the film because from what I can tell, at least from what I've looked at, it was pretty true to the story. I mean, obviously they made some changes, but it stuck to the basics of this story. And apparently Neil Gaiman, who wrote the book, of all the adaptations, this is his favorite. So that's a big thing for this. If the author of the original media, particularly the original book, likes the film adaptation, it's going to be pretty true to their story and keep to the core meaning of it. So that's a good thing. And it is a good film if you like kind of the dark and the kind of creepy type of thing. It's good for kids who like the horror, because again, that's what Neil Gaiman does. I would probably never read his books because they're supposed to be really, really dark. So not my thing, but still, my sister would have enjoyed this book, enjoyed this film, probably enjoyed the book, just because she liked the scary far more than I did. So if they like the scary, you like the creepy. If you like the kind of the stop motion animation style, which I actually don't mind, I have nothing against it, but again, I don't like the creepy. So, but otherwise, it's a really, really good film. I do recommend it. But again, this is, if your kids are sensitive, don't go anywhere near this, or the book, probably. Age range, probably later elementary and up. I think even high schoolers might enjoy this. So, but if your younger kids like the horror and they don't mind the scary, this is still a good film. Obviously, it's PG. So there's nothing outright dangerous in this. Again, it's stop motion animation. It's just kind of scary. So parents can do their judgment. You can watch this as a family film if you happen to like scary stuff. And you like the creepy and you scary and you like kind of the science fiction-ish because she's going into a different world kind of thing. But as I said, as a kid, I wouldn't have, even as a teenager, I probably wouldn't have gone anywhere near this because I don't like the horror. It was still a good film to watch, even as an adult. So even though I don't particularly like the scary, I was able to get through it. It's not that type of scary because, again, it's stop motion animation. So it's not like some of the other live action films or even different regular digital animation. They have a limit to what they can do. But again, great film. I'm assuming it's a very good book. I'm looking forward, at least to an extent, to reading this once I can get a hold of it. And no, I'm not joking when I say there's like 14 on order for my public library. I was shocked with the number that was on order. It's like, okay, there are 3 technically supposed to be circulating in the system, but apparently it's really, really popular. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put that many on. They wouldn't have bought that many of the physical copy. So this is supposed to be a very good film. It was a very popular film. What's the rating on IMDb? Yeah, it is a 7.7, which is a decent ranking for IMDb. So that's really it for this film review. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment if you have one. I do cover children's books and children's films and family stuff like this, along with a wide variety of other stuff. We are a secular homeschooling family, so a lot of my videos are kind of focused on that in this case. Besides the entertainment value, if you're looking into learning about stop motion animation, this has it. And I think this case, the copy that I have, has 2 discs. So they actually probably talk about the stop motion animation. I may look at that at some point. But we will see. So again, like and subscribe. Check out what I've got. I do a lot of books reviews, a lot of film reviews. Mostly it's older stuff and occasionally it's family centric, sometimes it's entertaining, sometimes it's just educational stuff. It varies. Along with the occasional board game and more secular education curriculum stuff will probably pop up as time goes on. My daughter is young when I'm doing these videos right now. This is January of 2022, so this won't be coming out until October of 2022. So my daughter will be about 3 by the time you guys see this. She's almost 2.5 here. So we'll be slowly moving into more curriculum and education stuff besides just books and films, as well as hopefully some travel stuff. Crossing our fingers on the travel stuff. We're trying to get there. COVID needs to end, and we are very sick of it at this point. So, again, like and subscribe. Thank you.